I know what you're gonna say. She's my sister and I should be trying to get along with her.
No, she's crazy and she needs to go down.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Iroh was the best character on Avatar.
No, Zuko. You must never give in to despair. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole.
Only once every 100 years can a firebender experience this kind of power.
For this list, we're looking at Uncle Iroh's greatest hits across Avatar: The Last Airbender, including his battles, words of wisdom, and all the other times he made our hearts swell. Did we miss an essential Iroh proverb? Let us know in the comments, and receive a free coupon for the Jasmine Dragon. Number 10, Dragon of the West.
But I always thought I would be here as a conqueror. Instead, we are the Earth King's personal guests, here to serve him tea.
While often presented as a jolly old man who would rather drink tea all the livelong day, one cannot forget that Iroh used to be an infamous soldier in service to the Fire Nation, who not only was in line to become Fire Lord, but was feared as a beast on the battlefield. His actions even earned him the moniker of Dragon of the West.
Did I ever tell you how I got the nickname, the Dragon of the West?
I'm not interested in a lengthy anecdote, Uncle.
It's more of a demonstration, really.
We at long last get to see him live up to the legend when he and Zuko are ambushed by Azula and her army of Dai Li, wherein he unleashes a burst of firebending straight from his mouth. Number 9, defeating Zhao. Iroh is certainly the kind of person who practices what he preaches, and that includes how to conduct oneself with honor.
Remember your firebending basics, Prince Zuko.
Following Zuko's victory over the arrogant Zhao in the sacred combat ritual of Agni Kai, the foul-tempered commander lashes out at the last second to take Zuko by surprise, only for Iroh to step in, protect his nephew, and easily knock Zhao flat on his back. The only thing more savage than his reflexes is how he puts Zhao in his place.
So this is how the great Commander Zhao acts in defeat? Disgraceful.
Now that's a burn.
Thanks again for the tea. It was delicious.
Number 8, liberating Ba Sing Se. How ironic that when Iroh first came to the city, it was as a conqueror. Now, years later, he returns as a liberator to free it from the grasp of the Fire Nation, bringing his personal arc full circle.
Only once every 100 years can a firebender experience this kind of power.
With his fellow members of the Order of the White Lotus in tow, Iroh unleashes his full might to take down the occupying soldiers. His power amplified tenfold thanks to the firebending enhancing properties of Sozin's Comet. It's a shame he never got the chance to test his mettle against Ozai in this state. Number 7, Tea with Toph. An unlikely friendship if ever there was one, Toph and Iroh's happenstance meeting was one of the purest examples of Avatar's underlying message in regard to strangers being able to forge bonds regardless of birthplace.
Sharing tea with a fascinating stranger is one of life's true delights.
With no knowledge of either's history, the two discuss matters such as the nature of strength and the importance of having loved ones to support you.
Where is your nephew?
I've been tracking him, actually.
Is he lost?
Yes, a little bit.
The way Iroh discloses how he would always be there for his nephew is genuinely heartwarming and speaks volumes about his character.
I know he doesn't want me around right now, but if he needs me, I'll be there.
Number 6, never give in to despair. It seems that Iroh has advice for every occasion, though this might be one of the most important lessons he ever imparted to Zuko.
But it's nothing to be ashamed of. There is a simple honor in poverty.
Now fugitives on the run from the Fire Nation, the pair is left poverty-stricken. Though Iroh being Iroh, he still sees the bright side, whereas his nephew is deeply shaken that his purpose in life may have been snatched away.
No, Zuko. You must never give in to despair.
Obviously speaking from past experiences, Iroh tries to convince Zuko that one should always cling to hope even in the darkest of times, no matter what. It's a creed born from a wise old soul, and one that both Zuko and all of us should take to heart.
In the darkest times, hope is something you give yourself. That is the meaning of inner strength.
Number 5, Destiny. Honestly, it seems that just about everyone gets along with Iroh.
Toph thinks you give pretty good advice. And great tea.
The key to both is proper aging.
As he and Aang venture deeper into the underground in search of Zuko and Katara, the Avatar opens up about his doubt over having left his training to rescue her, and by doing so may have doomed the world. In typical Iroh fashion, he praises Aang for choosing happiness over power, and that destiny isn't so simple a thing.
Perfection and power are overrated. I think you are very wise to choose happiness and love.
Given how everything worked out in the end, we can chalk this up to yet another time Iroh was proven right.
But if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place.
Number 4. Discussing the elements. While Iroh teaching Zuko the fundamentals of being able to redirect lightning was fascinating, it's his lecture on the elements and their respective nations that really blew us away.
Earth is the element of substance. The people of the Earth Kingdom are diverse and strong.
Demonstrating an in-depth knowledge of the world's cultures, it's here we can see where Iroh's unique perspective stems from. He's the only firebender not restricted by a narrow-mindedness, and instead recognizes the beauty in all peoples.
Water is the element of change. The people of the Water Tribe are capable of adapting to many things.
Power, substance, change, and freedom. If things had been different, Iroh would have made for a splendid avatar.
If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole.
Number 3. Who are you?
What do you plan to do now that you've found the Avatar's bison? Keep it locked in our new apartment? Should I go put on a pot of tea for him?
Without a doubt the most hard-hitting and potent speech in Iroh's canon of work, this plea to his nephew could be seen as the spark that would eventually turn the banished prince towards the side of good. Stepping in before Zuko can steal Appa, Iroh makes one last, desperate attempt to steer him away from the destructive path that has consumed his life for so long.
You never think these things through.
Just hearing Iroh raise his voice is shocking enough, but paired with him demanding that Zuko ask himself what he truly wants from life is overwhelming.
It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
Number 2. Leaves from the vine. Hold back the tears. Hold back the tears.
While it is always best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing.
After watching Iroh wander around Ba Sing Se, bringing smiles everywhere he goes with his generosity and kindness, we're suddenly presented with one of the most painfully beautiful moments in Avatar.
Happy birthday, my son.
Away from prying eyes, Iroh sets up a small memorial for his deceased son Lu Ten to celebrate his birthday, where he expresses regret over how he was unable to save him. And then he starts singing.
If only I could have helped you. Leaves from the vine, falling so slow, like fragile, tiny shells drifting in the foam.
Seeing Iroh at his most raw and vulnerable gives us just another reason to adore him, while knowing this was the last thing actor Mako recorded doubles the emotional impact. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Hot leaf juice.
This tea is nothing more than hot leaf juice.
Uncle, that's what all tea is.
How could a member of my own family say something so horrible?
How to deal with a mugger.
What are you doing?
I'm mugging you!
With that stance?
Training in prison. Pride and shame.
Pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. True humility is the only antidote to shame.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Forgiving Zuko. Time and time again, it was Iroh's bottomless affection for his troubled nephew that resonated so deeply with audiences. Exile, poverty, near-death situations, Iroh happily stood by Zuko's side as the world turned against them at every turn. That being said, following on from Zuko's betrayal at the Crystal Catacombs, it was unclear if things could go back to the way they were, even with a heartfelt apology.
Uncle, I know you must have mixed feelings about seeing me. But I want you to know, I am so sorry, Uncle.
And what does Iroh do? Immediately forgives and embraces him, overjoyed that he had finally found his own path.
How can you forgive me so easily? I thought you would be furious with me.
I was never angry with you.
We all need someone like Iroh in our lives.
I did lose my way.
But you found it again.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.